I think it's reasonable to assume that if Hive continues to produce like this, they should have. All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about HIVE Blockchain, stock ticker HIVE. They did their monthly production update, so I want to go through that and go through their numbers, and then we'll look at the chart after that and see what's going on. So we cover Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners quite a bit on this channel, so if that's content that you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if you enjoy this video, please smash the like button and feel free to drop a comment below. A little bit about myself. I have a background in accounting. I was a CPA. I've been trading stocks on a retail basis for a couple of decades. So I'm just hoping to share some of my experiences with you guys, and maybe we can make some money along the way. So with that said, let's take a look at Hive. Okay, Hive Blockchain provides January 2022 production update. So it's February 4th, and a lot of the Bitcoin miners already have their January production updates out. So you will be seeing a series of videos from me because I will be breaking down each one of those. But for right now, let's go through Hive. Hive Blockchain Technologies is pleased to announce the production figures for the company's global Bitcoin and Ethereum mining operations for the month of January 2022. With a BTC HODL balance of 2,043 and 25,404 Ethereum as of January 31st, 2022. Okay, so if we compare that to last month's results, you'll see they had 1,768 Bitcoin, so it looks like they HODLed all their Bitcoin, but they're down to 25,000 Ethereum, so even last month they said a portion of which were sold to upgrade chips. So they're using some of their Ethereum to fund the upgrade of chips. It looks like they're HODLing their Bitcoin. Let's go back to the update. So just to put it in perspective, 2,043 Bitcoin, that's roughly twice as many Bitcoin as they had at their September 30th quarter end. So that was now 4 months later, and they've basically doubled the amount that they're holding on their balance sheet. Okay, 264 Bitcoin produced, 1.87 exahash of Bitcoin mining capacity, 2,170 ETH equivalent produced, and 4.56 terahash of Ethereum mining capacity. So later, we will combine those into Bitcoin equivalents so that they can make sense across our comparisons as we compare them to other miners. They do that for us in this release. We continue to strive for operational excellence, ensuring that as we scale our hash rate, we also optimize our uptime to ensure ideal Bitcoin and Ethereum output figures. So they then go on to give what I was talking about. They convert everything to Bitcoin equivalent. So this is helpful when comparing across all miners. So essentially, if we look at their production in January, their Bitcoin and Ethereum combined converted to Bitcoin equivalents, they mined 425 Bitcoin equivalent in the month of January. It's just a little bit up from the month of December, but virtually the same. They mined 423 Bitcoin equivalent in the month of December. Now, they have increased their exahash, so they're saying that's 13.7 Bitcoin equivalent produced per day on average, so that's a good number. And then they are now at 2.9 exahash of Bitcoin equivalent hash rate, so that includes their Bitcoin mining and their Ethereum mining. So you can see their Ethereum mining is over 30% of their productivity. And at the moment, they seem to be spending their Ethereum to upgrade their fleet. So however, they are holding their Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network difficulty increased as much as 10%, and similarly, the Ethereum network difficulty increased approximately 7.5% during the month of January. These factors impacted our gross profit margins. With the difficulty level increasing 10%, they were still able to mine just a couple more Bitcoin this month than they did last month. So that's going to be an ongoing race for all of these Bitcoin miners. They're going to need to increase their hash rate faster than the worldwide network is increasing because that increases the difficulty level. So in order to mine more cryptocurrency, you've got to be growing faster than the network is growing. They then say our January production would have been higher than actuals. However, the extremely cold weather in Canada has caused Quebec Hydro to cut back 100 hours of energy consumption under a curtailment agreement. This seasonal curtailment agreement affects numerous crypto mining companies operating in Quebec. Along with Hive, in addition, in New Brunswick, we are experiencing, as expected, a temporary seasonal rise in energy prices. So in Canada, during these most cold months, which are really January and February, there's several of these Bitcoin miners that have to do a little sharing of their energy consumption. So they're saying that actually held their numbers back a little bit, but they still had good numbers here for January. So I think we can expect the same type of curtailment situation in February, and then I think things get better from there. So just to circle back around to the 2.9 exahash equivalent. They have 2.9 exahash of BTC equivalent hash rate. So that is up 0.3%. They had 2.6% at the end of the previous month, December 31st. So that's a nice growth in overall hash rate and mining capacity. And it's also a significant amount of mining capacity. This is pretty close to where Marathon and Riot are. They're a little bit over 3. So at 2.9, they're just behind Marathon and Riot. So you'll see their market cap is significantly lower than those guys. And that is because they have a lot more Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So their balance sheet is stronger. Hive's balance sheet is strong. So they don't have a bad balance sheet. It's just that Marathon and Riot have a stronger balance sheet. Actually, I'd go as far as to say Hive has a good balance sheet. It's just not as good as theirs. And in addition to that, I do think that the fact that a lot of their production comes through Ethereum, and there is this concern that Ethereum is going to proof of stake, and at some point they're going to have to switch from mining Ethereum to taking all of those machines and mining something else or doing something else with them. That's just a little cloud, I think, that looms over their head. I don't think that has a drastic impact on the market cap, but I do think it's one of the factors that holds this back. In addition to that, Marathon and Riot have purchase ordered significantly more machines on a going forward basis. So I don't want to compare the three, but it is noteworthy that from a production standpoint, they're in the ballpark of those two companies. So just to take a quick look at their balance sheet, you'll see current assets, and this is really how I judge the Bitcoin miner balance sheets. Total assets are going to grow and grow on these balance sheets because they have to spend a lot of money on mining machines. So they have almost $70 million in deposits on buying more equipment, and they have about $80 million of equipment on their balance sheet already. So these are not liquid. They're important assets, but they are not liquid. Their liquid assets are $151 million, and this was at September 30th, 2021, and we know they've doubled the number of Bitcoin that they're holding. So this number would have gone up as a result of that. However, Bitcoin's at a little bit lower number, so you got to factor that in. But in any event, you can see they're trending in the right direction. On March 31st, 2021, they had $107 million in current assets. By September 30th, they had $151 million. And I think when they put out their fourth quarter, you're going to see they have even more than that, probably over $200 million of current assets. And like a lot of the other miners, very little current liabilities. So against all of that is $10 million in liabilities. They do have another $40 million of long-term liabilities. So that puts their total liabilities to $51 million versus their total assets of $318 million. So still a very good ratio. I want to go take a look at the chart and see what's going on over there. But before I do that, I want to look at one other thing. In 2021, Hive listed on the NASDAQ. So this is a chart tracking their market cap since they listed on the NASDAQ. And you will see they're basically very near their all-time low market cap right now. They did get as low as $660 million, but they were as high as $1.86 billion. So if we go to the number that they are today, they are less than half that at $832 million. So this stock is way down from a market cap standpoint. I like to compare market caps so that, it takes dilution and all that out of the equation. Market cap to market cap, these guys have been cut more than in half. So I think there's room to the upside here. They are having good performance. And as you can see, today is a good day. Bitcoin actually just had a massive run over the last few hours, and it's up about $3,000. So this is actually the best 3-hour window Bitcoin has had in over a month and a half. So you'll see Hive is up quite a bit today. It's up 13% now as we speak. So let's go to the chart and see what that means. So for those of you who watch the channel, you'll know that I go back to September 29th. On or about, that is when most of the Bitcoin miners hit their lows after the bear market in September. So I have this purple line here representing that. So you'll see that actually with Bitcoin now above 40,000 for the first time in quite a while, Bitcoin is at a very similar number to what it was here at the bottom. You can see that Hive would have to go up about 18% to get back to that point. So it's not that far away from that point, but it still does have a little room to make up. It's also up 25% from its low on January 24th. So this really dipped on January 24th. So it's up almost 26% since then. If I go here, which is a little bit more of a natural floor, this is about 17%. I call this the downside risk. These are their recent lows. These are actually their 52-week lows. So if Hive can get back to where it was on December 27th, so that was just about 1 month and 1 week ago. So that was not a long time ago. That would represent a 48% increase in the price of Hive's stock. So that would be an extremely healthy increase. And I'm looking at this number as a potential end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter price target for me. And again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and don't make any buying decisions off of what I say or what anybody else on YouTube says. So I do hold a position in Hive. I am in a buy and hold situation with these guys. I think they have good long-term upside. This is my short to midterm price target for them. I think there's a lot more upside to go from there. This is nowhere near their high. So to get back to their all-time high, which they hit on November 9th, which was within 1 day of Bitcoin hitting its all-time high, that would be a 168% increase in the price of Hive. So I do see that as a realistic 1 to 2 year goal. And again, this is not financial advice. What I'm looking at is if Bitcoin gets healthy and retests its all-time highs, or maybe breaks its all-time highs over the next 1 or 2 years, I think it's reasonable to assume that if Hive continues to produce like this, they should approach the same numbers. So that's my thought process. That's what I got for you on Hive's January update. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.